Hey, I think we're live. Let me check on the stream here. Yo, what's going on? Gorilla Grodd, Mo, No Good Comics. What's up? Just getting this thing started right here. Give it a second. This is kind of a more of an impromptu stream, although I think I announced it yesterday. Hey, Rod, Just Rican, what's going on? Thanatos, what's up, Matt? Dak Hammer, what's up? Thanks for stopping by. So I'm just going to give it maybe one more minute and then I'll get right into it. So hope everybody's having a good President's Day weekend. Not quite sure what people do to celebrate President's Day, but having a day off from work on Monday is pretty nice. So let's see who we got here. So Jason P, Budget Collecting, welcome. Cool and Collected, thanks for stopping by. RB3, what's up, my friend? Mighty Comics Guy, how you doing? Well, let's see. Oh, hey, Mo, I gave you moderator responsibilities, so thanks for showing up early. Lucky you, I got work tomorrow. Sorry about that. That's a bummer. I'm looking forward to not doing anything at all. So, all right, so let's get right into it. I'm not going to waste too much of your guys' time on this extended weekend for most of you, I hope. Thanatos, how do we know he's not the one that needs moderating? I don't know. Not really sure how this all, how this decision-making process works exactly, but he was here early, and then Gorilla Grodd was here early, but then Gorilla Grodd, I think he left before I started the stream, so Mo is first in the house, so there he is. He's the moderator, at least for today. So one of my favorite things to do in the New York City comic scene as far as going hunting is getting lost a little bit in the the infamous, I don't know entirely what to call it, Koch Comics Warehouse. So if you're not familiar with the Koch Comics Warehouse is, what the Koch Comics Warehouse is, it's a industrial warehouse, like a legit warehouse that from the outside that you wouldn't be able to tell actually what it is, or that had really anything to do with comics. But it's an industrial warehouse in the Industry City / Sunset Park neighborhood of Brooklyn, by the docks essentially, or by the Hudson River, and it is not normally open to the public. They will occasionally, on weekends, open, or on special sales like these holiday weekends, they'll have 2-day open to the public style sales. They typically announce if they're going to be opening to the public on the weekend via their mailing list. But during the week, they're not open. They're only occasionally open to the public on weekends that they announce in advance. And if you want to go visit the warehouse at any other point, you have to actually, talk to them and set up a private appointment to go, which I've done before. The first couple times that I went to this warehouse, it was by private appointment. But the last few times that I've been, I've kind of just taken advantage of their public openings on random weekends. Hey, Bake the Snake, what's up, man? Thanks for stopping by. So basically, they're having a President's Day sale. They announced a President's Day sale, President's Day weekend sale, earlier this week, and that they would be open to the public on Saturday and Sunday. So they're actually open to the public today, between noon and 7 p.m., I want to say, which is the same hours they were open to the public yesterday. So this warehouse stores somewhere in the vicinity of 2 million comic books and tens of thousands of graphic novels toys, miscellaneous collectibles, posters, um, figures, just I, it's just staggering, just the volume of stuff that's in there. You can find original artwork in there. In some back corners, you can find production artwork. Um, Big Lion Cat, what's up, man? Thanks for stopping by. But this warehouse is just a complete trip. And the first time I ever went, I literally just got lost and like at one point had to like yell for help because I didn't know where I was going or what corner, I was in or even how to get out of the corner because everything is packed in so tight um and stacked on top of each other that it's kind of it's almost anxiety inducing to be in there, especially the first time. Hey, Wapty Bird, thanks for stopping by. Appreciate your support. So, like, if I remember back to the first time I ever went to this place, I really, really just could not wrap my head around just how much stuff was there. So, Cool and Collect is asking if they're not open to the public, how do they sell all that online? Yeah, they do sell. They do sell online, but the stuff that they sell on eBay, I believe, but the stuff that they sell on eBay is just maybe 1% or 2% of like the volume that's in there. Like they're not putting their entire warehouse's catalog up on eBay. So um, the in-house foot traffic for the warehouse is still the primary business. They are buying and selling collections a lot of the time, and the reason why I wanted to visit this sale specifically is that they got a new collection in that the guy gives me a heads up since we kind of know each other now if there's new collections that are coming in that might have stuff that I'm into. So that's one of the reasons why I dropped by this weekend. Anyway, hey, Collectible Paper, thanks for stopping by. So that's enough of a preamble. The only other thing that I would add to this explanation before I start showing the books is that this warehouse is extremely dusty and dirty. There's cats like all over the place and definitely some smells, if you will, up in the place. So I basically every time I leave, I take like two showers. Like one shower as soon as I get home, and then another shower later that day, or like I really got to like scrub the stench of the place off to some degree, and I got like um sort of very dusty fingertips, and I put band-aids on my fingertips sometimes when I'm there, so while I'm hunting I don't like cut myself. um I now bring a backpack with like a kit of stuff like allergy medicine and those like not gas masks, those dust masks that people wear at like airports. So I now kind of it's almost like I'm gearing up for like hazmat suit style when I go hunt at this warehouse. So it's a little bit it's a little bit daunting sometimes to make the trek, but I'm typically there for like 3 hours. Um, so Bake, this is Bake's asking, damn, where's this at? So this is the Koch Comics Warehouse in Sunset Park, Brooklyn. It's 206 41st Street, Brooklyn, New York. So they are not open to the public Monday through Friday. They only open to the public randomly on weekends, which they announce in advance. All other visits must be private appointment by private appointment. And there's somewhere between 2 and 3 million comic books in here. And like I said, tens of thousands of trades, toys, all sorts of collectibles with with a little bit of organization, but not a ton of organization. Dak Hammer, absolute heaven. Jason P says this place sounds crazy. It is crazy, brother. I mean, this place is just kind of nuts. Hey, White Whale, thanks for stopping by, Alec. So, um, again, a very, very unique experience going to this place. I think I've been about 5 or 6 times now, maybe 7. Um, and cool and collected, you should do a warehouse tour next time. I'm in California, too far. So if you follow me on Instagram, actually, on my Instagram story, I took a few videos yesterday. So you could actually look at my Instagram story from yesterday and sort of get a little bit of an inside taste of what it's like in there. So I encourage you to go do that. There are also other videos on YouTube. You can search Koch Comics Brooklyn on YouTube, and there are other people that have made videos. There are people that have interviewed the owner, Joseph Koch, and there's other content that exists from this place. But it's a pretty crazy place to visit. Let's just say that. So the way that it works there is that they have a lot of dollar books. Okay, occasionally they'll also have 50-cent books. And then they'll also have, you know, um, areas, I guess, that are focused on specific eras of comics, whether it's Silver Age, Bronze Age, Golden Age, um, or miscellaneous that are pre-priced, and then they'll have new collections or collections that are still being sorted that have not been priced. So usually, what I do is I go into the back office, see if there's anything in the back office that might be interesting to me, and then once I take a look at that stuff and set it aside for them to price out, I start exploring the warehouse, whether it's dollar books, um, 50-cent books, trades, random Silver Age, Bronze Age, new collections. I usually spend a few hours just kind of going buck wild, hunting, pulling books out, and then putting them in piles, and then moving them back to the back office, and then going back out into the warehouse, and like it's like a cycle like that where I keep doing it, right? So, hey, Comics Misexplained, thanks for stopping by. John Williams Jr. Oh yeah, Koch is hella dusty. Yep, exactly. Yeah, super dusty. In fact, my allergies are still kind of like flared up, honestly, from yesterday. But Dak Hammer, I walked into a comic book store cellar in Germany and it was full wall to wall, floor to ceiling with hardcore porn. And I took my time. That's hilarious. Anyway, so just some other insight as to how things work there. So from a pricing standpoint, anything that's pre-priced, they're typically using kind of overstreet style pricing, not which is not, as high as eBay pricing. Then they give you an additional 20% off on top of that. Whether it's, uh, a sale, typically, whether it's a sale weekend or not, they typically throw in another 20% on top. This weekend, on some of these books that were from new collections, I got upwards of 40% off the price because this particular person was pricing his books a little high, so they admitted that and they gave me an additional discount on top. So I was basically saving somewhere between 30 and 40% off overstreet prices based on the condition of the books that were not dollar books or cheap books, meaning like books that had, at least some value above $1. And another thing to point out is if they have a rewards program, so for every $100 that you spend, you get $20 of dollar value items, meaning $21 books. So, hey, Simon Comics, thanks for stopping by the stream. Who else? Did anybody else join here? Pacific Cooler. What is going on? So that's another cool thing to point out is that they have a rewards program. So if you spend money there, you're entitled to free books. So that's a pretty cool thing. I've gone maybe about 6 or 7 times total, and I've spent maybe somewhere between 600 to 700, maybe a little bit more, $800 total in those 6 or 7 visits. So I'm actually entitled to somewhere around $160 books, which I have yet to cash in on. So that should be interesting. I don't know when or where I'm going to store that many dollar books. I may have to go back with a long box at some point and just, focus on that part of the warehouse, because I'm entitled. It's pretty cool. Cool and Collect is saying, do they have CGC graded books or high grades, or are they mostly mid grade? They have a few CGC books, not a ton. They usually keep the CGC books in the back office. So I always check the CGC books out that they have, usually not a lot. And then I sit there and I kind of decide whether I really feel like pulling the trigger on some of those books or not. They're typically usually modern CGC books. So Simon Comics, I want to go to the warehouse. I haven't been there before. I should because I'm local too. Yeah, you really should. They're open today. They're open today to the public from noon to 7 p.m. today for a President's Day sale. So, or President's Day weekend sale. So go if you have time today, go check it out. Collectible paper. Do you get 60% off if you get tetanus? That's hilarious. That is fucking hilarious. White Whale says, I feel like I need to create a new channel banner with Wonder Woman on it. Yeah, I'm not. Maybe I think he's talking to somebody else. So okay, I'm gonna get right into the books now. I'm gonna stop wasting everyone's time. So I'm gonna kick it off with the dollar books that I picked up. And basically, he gave me these books for free because I spent enough money on other real books that he kind of just threw in the dollar books. But first dollar book is Wolverine 185. So this is from Volume 2. This cover was done by Isad Rabik. And I just like the cover. They had a whole long box full of Wolverine dollar books this weekend. So I grabbed a few of the Wolverines that I thought were pretty cool. Yep, that cover hot. So yeah, I thought it was a pretty hot cover personally. So, and for $1/free, couldn't pass it up. Next up we have Wolverine, Volume 3, number 50. So this cover was done by Simone Bianchi, and it's actually the right half of a connecting cover. So there's a variant for this issue that essentially creates a full connecting cover. So I am looking for the variant to eventually have the complete cover, but for $1/free, this was pretty cool to pick up. And next, we've got some more Wolverine. So this is Wolverine Volume 3, number 32. So this is from the Marvel Knights era. And this cover was done by Carrie Andrews. So Carrie Andrews cover there. Cool book. And let's see what's going on in the chat here. Great deal. All right. From now on, I will use the whale emoji. Cool. All right. So next up, we got Wolverine number 34. Also, this is from the house. This is a House of M tie-in. This is also a Carrie Andrews cover. It's another really cool cover. $1 book, which was free. So there you go. Or dollar goodness. All right. And then we've got Albedo Zero. So this is not the first print. The first print is like a ghost style, super rare low print. I want to say 500 or less of the first print. This is the fourth print of Albedo Zero. So this was also kind of $1/free pickup, but still a pretty cool book. All right. So next up on the dollar front, Black Panther Volume 6. This is issue number 5, and this is a Jim Steranko black and white variant cover with Cap. I mean, look at that cover, man. Right? That is a super dope book. And I was happy to have that picked up for basically nothing. So, America, yep. All right, so and this was super awesome. Like he threw this in for free as well. This was free, okay, completely free. Vampirella Volume 7, Number 1, J. Scott Campbell. This is a 9.8 candidate. Thinking about sending it in. Would certainly look awesome in a slab. Kind of barely see it with the Mylar shine. And guys, I was kind of joking earlier about how many showers I take when I leave this place, but I also have to immediately rebag and board every book the second I get home, every time I come back from this warehouse, because the level of dust that accumulates on the bags and boards in the boxes in this place is pretty intense. So, to protect the comic, like literally the second I walk through the door, I'm rebagging and boarding everything into, Mylars, fullbacks, halfbacks, whatever, depending upon the book, right? But yeah, I'm super stoked about this cover, and it will potentially be on my next Moderns submission to CGC. I'm working on a modern submission right now. I've got some Golden Age and Silver Age and Bronze Age at CGC, but working on a modern submission. This looks to be a pretty sweet candidate for it. So, all right. So, I don't know if I really consider this a modern, or even a comic necessarily, but this is a graphic novel. So it's Akira Volume 1, Number 1, first print. And I think Bake the Snake just picked this up recently. I watched a video, like an eBay haul video that he did the other day. And I think he picked this up recently as well. But this is a pretty nice condition. First print, Akira Volume 1, Number 1, graphic novel. Let me get caught up on the chat a little bit. Cool and Collected, very nice books for $1. Jason P. Budget Collecting, wow. Campbell Vampy, yep. Can't beat a free vamp. Comics Misexplained, yeah, I rebag and board everything. John Williams Jr., dude has been there since the late 70s, yep, yeah. They have been there for a long time. Tony Guagliardo, I didn't see you join. Thanks for joining, brother. Welcome. Do they accept credit card, or is it strictly cash transactions? They take credit cards. Bake the Snake, sweet. Yep. Well done. Good pickup. White Whale Comics, always rebag and board. Yep. John Williams Jr., fuck, that Akira book looks amazing. Yeah, man. I thought it was in pretty stellar shape. So I grabbed that. This wasn't $1. This was maybe, I want to say this was like $8, something like that. Maybe less. That's another shower after the rebag too. Yeah, JB, exactly, because you get all the dust all over yourself, like as you unbag and rebag all of this stuff. So pretty stoked about this Akira pickup. All right, so next I'm going to go into some other books. These are not dollar books, but these are all pretty well priced, and I got an additional 40% off. So this was an interesting one, okay? This is Faust, number 4, okay, or Act 4. So this book's from 1999. It's an independently published title. The author is David Quinn, and the illustrator and cover artist is Tim Vigil. Okay, so this is like a very adult series. Like right here, it says caution contains extreme violence and sexual situations. So this is pretty cool, rare book. Um, Dackhammer, how many times a bag is falling apart and the book is still good? Always rebel. Um, hey, Los, thanks for stopping by, buddy. Um, don't worry about it. Stay as long as you can. Jeffrey Comic Con Henson, my friend, good to see you and good chatting with you last night. Um, Wop T Bird, don't forget the shower after looking through the Vampirella. That's hilarious. So, for those that missed the Vampirella, this was a free book that I picked up at the warehouse yesterday. So, definitely shower worthy. So yeah, so this was a crazy look at this cover. Look at this. It's like it's almost like a pre-code horror, but it's a 90s book, a 90s indie book that I had never seen before out in the wild, so I had to pick this up. And I was flipping through the pages yesterday, and goddamn, there is some crazy shit on the inside of this book. I'm gonna have to track down the other issues somehow. But this was a cool pickup. So next, you guys know what this book is, right? Captain America Annual #8. That classic Mike Zeck cover, right? And I was super happy to see this in a box at the warehouse. So this, of course, is the first appearance of Tess 1 and the first appearance of Overrider. It's in pretty good shape. Not necessarily like a 9.8 or anything, but if I had to guess, maybe a 9, 8.5, 9.0. So yeah, this is a great Mike Zeck cover. I didn't have this book in my collection, so this was a no-brainer pickup from the warehouse. Okay, so next up we got a little bit of a burst of Detective Comics issues that I was happy to add to the collection. This is Silver Age book. This is Detective Comics 387. So this is the 30th anniversary issue of Detective Comics. Just getting caught up on the chat here. White Whale says, love Zek. No Good Comics, great pickup. Love that cat cover. Los has got to run. See you, buddy. Check it out on the replay. Appreciate that. Jeffrey says, dude, that warehouse looked insane, man. Dude, I'm telling you, it's mind blowing, but it's also overwhelming and can potentially make you hyperventilate, which it has before for me. But super cool book. This is a Irv Novak, Bob Kane, and Gaspar Saladino cover, and it's the 30th anniversary Detective Comics issue number 387. So then we have Detective Comics 437. This is a Bronze Age. Now it has this little issue here in the corner. I don't know if you can see that, but other than that, this book is super clean. So I'm not sure how CGC would how much they would mark down a book for that corner, but other than that corner, this book is just phenomenal shape. This is Tech 437. Jim Aparo and Gaspar Saladino cover. This is the first appearance of the new Manhunter. So not the Golden Age Manhunter, but the Manhunter after the Golden Age. So this is a nice first appearance Tech issue from the Bronze Age. This is a 1973 book. All right, next up we've got Detective Comics 452. This is an Ernie Chan and Tatiana Wood cover. This is the first appearance of the Crime Exchange. So another fantastic condition book. I mean, I would say this is probably a 7.5, maybe 7.5 to 8.0. Tech 452. more great Bronze Age tech. All right, and then we've got Tech 458. This is an Ernie Chan and Tatiana Wood cover. Super gorgeous white cover there. Another hole in my Detective Comics run. So, pretty cool. Got some more tech here. So, Detective Comics 479. This is a Marshall Rogers, Dick Giordano, and Tatiana Wood cover. Also in stellar shape. I would say this is probably a 6.5, 7.0 condition book. You know, it's got the Mylar magic, so looks better, but that's probably the real condition of this. That's a newsstand. Super glad to have that one. And then this is the last Detective Comics issue I picked up. They had a lot more. I could have spent more there, and picked up, filled up even more of the holes in my run. But this was the last one. This, of course, is Tech 577. It's the third issue in the Year 2 storyline, and it's a Todd McFarlane cover. White Whale is with the is calling out the newsstand. Jason P says love these tech books. Jeffrey Comic Con says got that Hawkman Thanatos. Yeah, I think he was talking about the last issue. And those white backgrounds make all the other colors pop. No Good Comics says what's the yellow label you add to the back? So I always add yellow labels to the back of my books with some information about like where I picked it up, the price. Sometimes the price. Sometimes I keep track of that electronically, and then some other key notes about the books and stuff like that. I tend to do that these days. Look at that cape. John Williams Jr. says, man, I need to go back to Koch. Haven't been in damn near 8 years. Got to pick up some early Grant Morrison Doom Patrol books. You never know. They might have. They just have so much there. It's kind of hard to guesstimate. You just got to go there and dig and see what they got and just find stuff. Comics Misexplained. Hell yeah, I got the 4 issues of Year 2 coming in the mail soon. Nice, dude. Dak Hammer says stunning. So yeah, so that was the little bit of a mini tech run that I pulled out. Hey, Spidey fan, welcome. Just showing some more of the haul. I think I'm about halfway done with the haul. I think I showed about 15 books and I got about 15 more to go. Might do a recap at the end, but so next up, I'm going to show you a little bit of a couple of 10-cent books, some late Golden Age, early Silver Age books that I picked up, and some, most of these are cover buys / just something about the book spoke to me. Now, I'm not a huge romance comic collector. I don't have a subset of my collection that is all romance books. But we just did the Halloween, the Valentine's Day stream, so these books would have been cool to show then, but a few days late. So this is a 10-center, Fight for Love. See that old school Golden Age style romance comic goodness there. Check that out. And now I couldn't find a lot of information on this. I don't know who the cover artist is. So I don't know if anybody else out there is an expert on these subgenres of comics, but I'm actually trying to figure out what the details are around this book. But I thought it was pretty cool, so I picked it up. Next up, we've got, so this is from National Comics. So this is DC before they were I'm not really sure actually. I never really seen National Romance Group listed on a cover, but this has a pretty cool date stamp on it. So this is Falling in Love, number 16. Couldn't find much information on this book either. I don't know who the cover artist is, um, but it just looked really, really cool and spoke to me. I love the colors, um, and it has that Valentine's Day vibe. So there it is. What do you guys think about this book? You know, this is a genre that is very unfamiliar to me. So it's kind of just cover buys for the most part, but I am willing to take these out and flip through them. They're in very fragile condition. Like this book I would say is a 1.5 to a 2.0, and the cover is partially detached. This one's in nice shape. This one's in super nice shape, but this one has been through some shit. No Good Comics. I'm falling in love with that cover. I know, right? It's a pretty sweet cover. Definitely an area of books that I'm just super unfamiliar with, though. Jeffrey Comic Con. I got a couple comics with that date stamp. Just thought it was something a random person did to mess the book up. That is normal. Yeah, Jeffrey. Like, especially in the Golden Age and earlier Silver Age, date stamps are pretty common. Alex says I'm also totally unfamiliar with romance comics. Yeah, I mean, I want to learn more about them, but Jack Hammer, I'm loving this. Um, Comics This Explained. A lot of those older romance comics can go for a pretty penny on eBay. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I haven't done a ton of research. I would like to, so I'm gonna be doing some more research. I'm gonna start looking into what some of the grails are for these kind of book collectors, because I am kind of curious now, because I'm starting to really dig the cover art for this subgenre. So there you go. All right, so this is a Harvey Comics publication. It's Chick Young's Blondie, number 149. Another 10 center. I just thought it was hilarious. So, and this is in super nice shape. This is a white cover. It's in super nice condition. So, uh, not necessarily a romance cover, but but it's pretty funny. So I like comics covers that make me laugh. So that's kind of a thing. So especially some of the older ones. So I just picked this up because I had a reaction to it. Cool and Collected. I just got an ASM 36 9.6 with a date stamp on the cover. Why is it there? So I don't have all the answers on why it 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 specifically on your book is there. I think it has something to do with the way comics were sold back then. Not there were no it wasn't a direct edition style market. It was all um, through newsstands. Spidey fan, wash hands after warehouse sale, Black Dirt. Yep. Perry Comics, what's up, man? Welcome to the chat. Thanks for stopping by. So yeah, so this is a pretty cool book. Nothing crazy, but just something I reacted to and wanted to pick up. And then we've got an EC book. We've got some pre-code. So this is from 1955. This is Panic number 7. Now this is pretty beat up, but it's an EC book and it was super cheap. So I decided to grab that, especially while I was able to get the additional discount this weekend for the sale. So there it is, Panic number 7, a book that I definitely would like to possibly read sometime very soon. I don't have a lot of EC. Yeah, sick cover, right? Yeah, I don't have a lot of EC, but this one just looked trippy, and I couldn't leave it there. I would have just felt bad leaving it there. So pretty sweet. All right, and this is the is it an optical illusion cover? Yeah, it's supposed to be an optical illusion cover, actually. I'm not entirely sure what you're supposed to see or anything, but yeah. So color is great on that. Yeah, it looks pretty cool, right? So this is the last Golden Age book. Now this is actually very high grade. This is the highest grade Golden Age book that I might have in my entire collection, honestly. I mean, this this looks like it's a 9.0 potentially. A 9.0 or 9.2 potentially. It's nothing, it's not like it's a Action Comics early Action Comics issue or anything like that, but so this is a Dell book. This is actually a British Golden Age book. So this is Huckleberry Hound number 5. So you see the quality of the book, very, very sharp. One of the nicest Golden Age or early, so late Golden Age, early Silver Age grade books raw that I've got. So pretty sweet. David SMNC, what's up, man? Thanks for joining. Gorilla Grodd, welcome back. Jeffrey Comic Con, oh man, I used to love those old cartoons, right? Huckleberry Hound, man. So this he be rolling. That's funny. So this was pretty sweet. I just, I rarely see a book in this high grade, this old, so I just had to get it. So pretty sweet. And next, we are going to go into some more Silver Age. So check this out. Yes. Right? This is Aquaman number 37. This is a Nick Cardy cover. It is a Pieta cover, which is something I collect. And I don't know how many I have. I think I might have maybe 20 total Pieta covers. Yep, yep. And this is actually the first appearance of Scavenger. And Pieta cover JD and TJ would approve. Yeah, exactly. So I collect Pieta covers. I have maybe about 15 to 20. I don't know the exact amount I have, but this is the oldest Aquaman book that I have now in my collection. I don't have a ton of Aquaman, but I thought this was just an incredible book to find in a box. This was one of the books that was in the new collection that showed up to the warehouse, so I got about 40% off on this. And this, I want to say this is not in the best shape, but it's in okay shape. It's like a low mid grade, maybe like a 4.0 or something. But yeah. Hey Gray Man, good to see you. So yeah, I mean, very, very cool. I'm super happy to have this. Probably one of the highlights from the haul yesterday. So all right, guys, check this book out, okay? This is 80-page giant number 1 Superman annual. Look at that. This is a Kurt Swan and George Klein cover. So not only is this the first issue of the 80-page giants from DC, it is there's a story in this book that's the first appearance of Supergirl as Superwoman. So it has a major key, not necessarily a major key, maybe a minor key, but first Supergirl as Superwoman, and it's pretty sweet. Kurt Swan, cool book to find. It is in very beat up shape. It's got a lot of staining and dirt and creases. It's the spine is got issues. I mean, it's an 80-page bound book, but I wasn't gonna leave this there. You know, this was this was an incredible book to find. So I'm very, very happy to find this and add this to my collection because, I doubt I'll ever even like come across this book ever again. So it's pretty sweet. I mean, maybe I will, but I like the fact that I was able to find a raw, lower grade copy of this. 'Cause I've never seen it personally in the wild, so until yesterday. So super happy to add that. All right, so here we go. Here's some major shit here. Fantastic Four Annual number 4. First, Golden Age Human Torch in the Silver Age. The origin of the Human Torch retold, and the first Quasimodo. Jack Kirby, Joe Sino, Stan Goldberg, Sam Rosen cover. Yeah, look at that. Another very large Silver Age book. Simon Comics, what year is that? Um, I want to say maybe 64, 65. I don't know for sure, but look at that book. Very happy to find that. Gorilla Grodd says, I was looking for that book. Gray Man says, glorious. Dak Hammer says, it wants to be found. Yep. So, very cool. I've got this in a Golden Age fullback plus halfback, just so it has some breathing room. And then a Golden Age size Mylite. That's the way I bag and board these older, large amount of page annual style books is I kind of give them the Golden Age treatment so that they've got breathing room, and that they still are, got plenty of support and, of course, the shine, right? All right, so 2 more books, guys. Jeffrey Comic Con. Every time I hear Glorious, I think of Bobby Roode now. Glorious. Sweet. I was looking for that book. Nice. All right, guys. So another Fantastic Four annual. Fantastic Four annual number 5. This is in higher grade than the number 4. This is the first Psycho Man, and this is the first solo Silver Surfer story. I want to say Erod 212 brought this to The Hunt on Tony Sanders' channel on Friday night, maybe. And then I saw it Saturday, the day after, and I was like, wow, okay, this is fortuitous. And I bumped into the same book, and it was in pretty good shape. I want to say this is a 5.0, maybe 6.0 at best, with a press, maybe. I don't know. I've never pressed a book this big, but this is a Jack Kirby, Frank Giacoa, Stan Goldberg, and Artie Simek cover art. But this is a pretty nice book. Hey, DS Comics, what's up, man? It is a very busy cover, right? Yep. So DS, this is the second to last book, so you're gonna have to rewind. I might do a quick recap and go through them super quickly, but Simon Comments says that makes sense. Goodman made them put in the Golden Age Human Torch to make the creator who was suing him mad. He got so mad that he burned all his timely file copies. That's a bummer. But yeah, super cool book, and probably one of the nicer, as far as dollar value, books that I picked up yesterday. But I got about 40% off of Overstreet pricing on this one. All right, so last book before I do a recap, and this is probably the biggest, first appearance or grail. It's not a Silver Age or a Bronze Age. It's a modern. but I saved it for the end because it's probably the most recognizable of the haul. And you know, I got it for a really really good price. And it's a 9.6 to 9.8 candidate. Um, a poor man's comics. I missed everything. Start all over again. Thanks. I will get right on that. I will get right on that. Tony says 1966 on that Fantastic Four Annual 4. Okay, yeah, close enough. I thought it was maybe 65, but so here it is. Final book, Alias #1, David Mack, first full appearance, Jessica Jones. I had to um, full back Mylar and top load this one for sure. But it is sharp. It is high grade, and I got a hell of a deal on it. 40% off, less than Overstreet price for the grade, and definitely a major key. So pretty stoked. And literally, this was in a box in this new collection, in between books like I'm literally like combing through boxes, and I see a book like this, followed by a book like this, followed by a book like this, followed by a book like this. Like there was no organization to it at all, and I was just had to keep my eyes peeled. So there it is. That's probably the big book of the hunch. I mean, of the bunch, and of the haul. But I never actually had this book ever, so I'm pretty happy to finally have it. And there it is. So we got this Alias #1, first Jessica Jones. We've got the Fantastic Four Annual #5, first Psycho Man, first solo Silver Surfer story. Got Fantastic Four #4, the first Golden Age Human Torch in the Silver Age. We've got the origin of the Human Torch retold and the first Quasimodo. We've got the 80-page giant #1 Superman annual, which has a story which includes the first Supergirl as Superwoman. We've got the Aquaman #37 from the Silver Age, Pieta cover, and the first appearance of Scavenger. We've got a whole bunch of Detective Comics, right? We've got 577. We've got 479, 458, 452, 437. This one's badass. First appearance of Manhunter. And 387, 30th anniversary issue, Detective Comics. Then we've got Captain America Annual #8, the amazing Mike Zeck cover, first Test One, first Overrider. We've got this book here, which is a rare late 90s indie title, Faust #4, with that crazy, horror cover going on. So, which is really really cool. And yeah, Grayman says that's the first reprint of the first Batman appearance. That's right. So, oh yeah, and White Whale was telling me that he sold his Alias One when it was $1 book. That is painful. That is painful. Then we've got the Akira Volume One, first print. Got the J. Scott Campbell Vampirella #1, which I got for free. Got the Black Panther #5 Steranko Cap. Albedo Zero, not first print. That would have been incredible, but Wolverine #34, Carrie Andrews. Wolverine #32, Carrie Andrews. Wolverine number 50, Simone Bianchi, part of a connecting cover. Got to find the other half. Wolverine number 185, Isaac Rabik. Isad Rabik. And some 10 centers. We got the Huckleberry Hound, high grade British Dell book. Maybe DS will appreciate this one. Panic number 7, EC, 1955. Hey, Legend. Thanks, buddy. Thanks for stopping by. Hey, Hulk Nuts. Good to see you, man. Love this one. Schick Young's Blondie, another 10 center from Harvey Publications. Some Silver Age romance. Falling in Love, number 16. Gorgeous cover, gorgeous date stamp. Later, Legend. Thanks for stopping by. Dak Hammer, another superb vid. Bravo. I appreciate that, brother. And then Fight for Love. More 10-cent romance. And I think that does it for the recap. And, once again, I'll show the Grail book that was located in this crazy-ass warehouse. So that's going to essentially do it, guys. I appreciate everybody stopping by and showing support. I hope everybody's been having a great holiday weekend. The only other update I'll share is that before I leave is that I told some of you guys offline, and that also I think I mentioned it on my stream on Valentine's Day on Thursday night, that I made an offer on a property, which has been something I've been talking about as a major goal of mine, is to own property. So I made an offer on that property on Thursday. I got a counter offer on Friday. I recountered on Friday evening, and then yesterday night, I got another counter from the seller, and they met me at a point where I felt comfortable, and I accepted, and so I decided to move forward. So I'm about to go on the journey of real estate ownership, property ownership. Potentially, we'll be moving a few months down the line. I don't know all the details yet, but I'm pretty happy about all of that, all those developments. So should be some exciting times ahead for me. And thanks, guys, in the chat for the congrats on that. Geeks, Drinks, and Comics, what's up, man? I just did the recap, so you're gonna have to catch the replay. But yeah, now the whole chat is chiming in with the congrats. I appreciate it. Hey, Comichead84, what's up, man? Like I just said, I did the recap already, so hopefully you can catch the replay if you missed the beginning or missed the whole thing. But thanks, everybody. I appreciate the good luck and the congrats on the real estate stuff. Hope you enjoyed the haul. Some really cool books. I rarely get a haul like this out in the wild in one day. So I'm pretty happy. I'm going to be checking out some of these books today. I'm checking out some of your other streams, checking out some of the other auctions going on today in the community. I'm going to wrap things up, I think, at 2:00 Eastern. Big Will has his show with Jeffrey and maybe Tony Sanders. I'm not entirely sure. But thanks, everybody, for the love. Thanks for stopping by. If you showed up late, catch it on the replay. I showed about 30 or so books, and I gave everybody the rundown on how the Koch Comics Warehouse works. If you're in Brooklyn or the New York City area in general, they are open today still until 7 p.m. for their President's Day weekend sale. So have at it. If you're not local, maybe you'll get to the New York City area one day and experience the warehouse. Um, the only other thing that I was gonna do was there were 3 other books that I picked up at the warehouse that are no longer in my possession. So those I'm gonna show those 3 books on the screen now. And they're no longer in my possession because it was a friend of mine's birthday last night, and she's a big fan of Supergirl, so I decided to just give her these books as a birthday gift. And Here they are on the screen now. So these are 3 Adventure Comics issues that I picked up. So these were actually also part of the warehouse haul, but I no longer have them because I gave them away as a gift the same day I picked them up. So those are that's gonna do it as far as the books, and I am gonna end it there. And I appreciate everybody, and I'll catch you guys in the chats as usual. Later. Bye.